So this new H24 flanker, it's fresher than the EDT and EDP, for sure. I own the EDT, the first one. I thought it was a unique fragrance, and um, Hermes did a good job of doing something different. I really think Chanel should have capitalized on the green first. Because I mean they did the blue. It seemed like first, even though really Dolce and Gabbana had light blue. Nobody really gives it credit, but as far as that shower gel vibe, Chanel kind of started that first. So Hermes kind of did the green thing first for designer anyway. I mean, you have Frederick Malle that did Synthetic Jungle, Perfumes and Marley Greenly. So it was already brewing up the whole green thing in the niche world, but Hermes did it first, and I feel like they did it well. I don't know if this is gonna be super popular. H24 compared to like blue fragrances, because you got to think Dior Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel are still best sellers, but maybe in 5 years people get sick of that and go to something like this. It's going to be interesting to see how the market plays out, but I like this one. I think I think I might prefer this out of the three, just because it's fresher. And I live in Texas. It's hot, but immediately when I spray it on, I get like a green, herbaceous fruitiness. I was trying to think of the fruit when I sprayed this on, and I kind of got like a mango, pineapple, banana. The banana's definitely still in there, not as prominent. I looked up the notes and it says pears in there. Yeah, I kind of think pear. Now that I read the notes, but it didn't like immediately stand out at first. It's not like, I see pear and I kind of got worried like it's gonna be basic sweetness, like that's in a lot of feminine designers or something, but it's not really that. I mean, there is sweetness in there, but it would be similar to the EDT or EDP when it comes to sweetness. I would say maybe even less, honestly. But yeah, I feel like there's some underlying spice in here, maybe just a little bit of cumin. I don't think you're going to notice it. I feel like I've been sensitive to that. A lot of men's fragrances have like a little bit of spice underlying, but it's blended really well here. I don't think you'll notice it, but there is some kind of spiciness blended with the musk, I think, to make it maybe more masculine or something, but it basically dries down pretty quick. That herbaceous fruitiness is going to dissipate, and you're going to be left with a like a slight metallic green musky scent. This has that kind of like what's popular in niche fragrances. I've noticed. I call it sweet musk, like Diptyque, Zoologist, Byredo. They all have that underlying sweet musk to it. Maybe Le Labo in a way, not as much, but yeah, I feel like a lot of them share that similarity. This underlying sweet musk to make fragrances modern. Maybe Chanel in a bit. I feel like Chanel's EDPs kind of have like a vetiver, irisy vanilla to sweeten it. A lot of fragrances use vanilla to sweeten it, but a lot of the niche use like this sweet musk. Everything's sweetened now, even if people think it's not sweetened. There's like a musk to sweeten it up. Like you're not gonna smell dustiness, I've noticed, in like new fragrances, or a dryness a lot of times. But anyway, this has a green, sweet, musky, slight metallic. Yeah, I think it's good, especially for the price. I think you can get these H24s on discounters, I believe, for a good chunk off. So maybe wait on it, but I don't know. I think it's like around 100. You know, you can probably get 20% off at Macy's or something. So it's worth it. If you already have the EDT or EDP, it's going to be redundant in my opinion. I mean, unless you want to collect them all. But if you don't have those, I would say try this one out. You might like it better. I think I do. I just think the EDT is so close to it. There's really no need. The EDT to me dries down more of that hot steam. You know, I had somebody before say, "Oh, what's that smell?" when I was wearing it, because you know it smells maybe more chemically, that steam note kind of. This one maybe not as much. There's just a slight metallic vibe going on to it, but it's not predominant on the dried on. I noticed on the EDT when I sprayed a bunch, I get that like that hot iron accord more. It comes out more. Maybe the bottle over time produced that, but I definitely feel like H24 is a weird one in that with the EDT, if you spray too much, you'll get too much of that hot iron accord. It's kind of weird. Um, but yeah, this one's good. I'm surprised they didn't come out with the perfume version first. I guess looking back at Hermes, you know, for Terre de Hermes, I think they did EDT, perfume, and then the vetiver. Or I don't know. I think it was EDT, perfume, and then fresh, something like that. I think they skipped the EDP. Maybe the vetiver was the EDP. I don't know. So I guess it kind of makes sense. They might leave the perfume out. Maybe you just can't do it with H24. I mean, what would they do to make it a perfume? They might add. I mean, I don't think you could add vanilla to this. I mean, you could maybe add some more aroma chemicals to make it stronger lasting, but I feel like people would get olfactory fatigue or whatever, nose blind to those, so it wouldn't really seem like a perfume. I guess you could make it like a dense green. So I don't know if they'll do a perfume version of this. I don't know what they would do next, but if you like H24, I would say try a Zoologist Cardinal out. That's a good green one. It has a little bit of green bubblegum vibe to it. Not too much. That's a good one that's similar. I personally like Frederick Mall Synthetic Jungle a little better. It's a little more challenging, a little more dense green, like leafy, maybe slightly soapy. It's just more greener to me, not as sweet musky. So that one's pretty good. Perfume de Marley's Greenly, I like that one. Yeah, there's a few other green fragrances. I don't want to get into it. I could make a whole video on that. But yeah, let me know what you think if you tried this one.